Okay, dito sa ating pangalawang bahagi, part 2 natin, sa MRT LRT scam exposed. Kasi nga, ando na po sa hearing sa Kongreso na nagsalita ang deputy ba ang tawag dito, Secretary of the OTC, si Lotilla, and I'm quoting direct from the column of Jarius Bondoc of February 9, which I unfortunately could not bring. Hindi ko na mahanap, na-scrap na. But we have been writing it. Relay Network has been saying again and again that sa operation and maintenance, yung binabayad ng mga pasahero sa MRT at LRT, sapat na sa operation and maintenance at sobra pa. No? May tubo pa. Ibig sabihin yan, ang bawat pasahero, walang subsidy. Yan ang importante kasi si Rojas, yung mga opisyalis sa Malacanang sinasabi, bakit kami magsasubsidize yung mga taga-Maynila na sumasakay dyan? Walang hiya sila. We have to tell them, walang hiya kayo. Mabuti, hindi ako pwedeng magmura dito. Ano? Kasi niloloko niyo yung taong bayan. Ang subsidy ay hindi sa mga pasahero. At yung mga ibang pasahero sumusuporta doon sa pagtaas ng singil na naloloko kasi tingin niya, kaya naman niya magbayad. Niloloko kayo. Ano? Do not help their argument, which is panloloko. Ano? And so, 85% admission din ng DOTC ng gastos ng MRT, I don't know if LRT, you can clarify, ano? Para doon sa concession agreements and so on, rental, equity rental, interest, na ang publiko din ang nagbabayad. No? Pati yung subsidy ng gobyerno napupunta doon sa mga so-called investors. So, si Ginoong Mel Robles, dating LRT, Light Rail Transit Administrator, alam na alam, in and out, like the back of his hand, no? Itong operation nitong mga train na to. And during these hearings, na-spot niya yung ilang mga talagang kailangan malaman ng publiko. So, Mel, take it away.
Doon sa aspeto ng pamasahe, sumasapat sa operation and maintenance, totoong-totoo yun. Ang tawag dyan yung fare box ratio. So, bawat pisong kitain mo, ang balance is 1:1, no? Pisong kitain mo, piso ang gastos mo. In this case, mahigit sa piso ang kita at piso ang ginagastos, no? So doon galing yung it's really even more. And then of course the rest should be an investment by government. Even in the charter of LRTA, maliwanag doon, no, na you can increase fares to cover for your expenditures, which means operation and maintenance, no? Given, and this is a practice all over the world, no, na ang gobyerno, ang bukod doon sa operation and maintenance, pagkatapos ng operation and maintenance, gobyerno na ang sasagot. Ganun ka-importante yun. And that is the practice everywhere. In fact, sa ibang mga bansa pa, dahil alam nila kung gaano ka-importante ang mass transport system, pati operation and maintenance, pag kinakapos, pasok pa rin ng gobyerno. In this case, sa atin hindi. Kinakaya ng pasahe. Kahit hindi kailangan magtaas. Hindi nga nila masagot. Dalawang bagay lang gusto kong itanong. Kailangan nyo ba magtaas ng pasahe? At number 2, if so, how much should it be? Bakit ganyang kalaki? Bakit 87%, umabot ng 87%? At bakit nagtaas kayo ng 15 pesos? Ba't nahiya pa kayo? Gawin nyo ng 1,000 pesos. Diba? Kung hindi nyo ma-justify yan, malaking problema sa atin. Because you don't even know the purpose of the rail sa economy natin. No, ang nakikita nyo lang, ay hindi nagsasubsidize tayo rito. But what is the alternative? Traffic? Yan talaga.
Traffic, pollution.
No? Lost
downtime,
manpower, hours, productive time. Ganun nga laging tingin natin ganon, no? Kasi hindi kayo sumasakay.
Hindi ba, kinikwento mo sa akin, sumakay si Abaya ng DOTC, pero off-peak hour.
Sumakay siya, off-peak hour, siyempre, courtesy lane. You should ride there on the peak hour.
Tapos nakapayong pa siya.
He was seen there sa isang news report, no? So, ang point dito, sumakay kayo. Kasi, sabi nila, hindi naman namin kailangan sumakay para malaman. That's not true. Kahit for practical reasons. Yung kusinero, tinitikman yung pagkain niya. Hindi niya sasabing masarap ang pagkain kung hindi ko tinitikman.
At ako talaga, nagiging galit na galit ako dyan. Dahil sumasakay ako dyan, nakikita ko kung paano nadudurog yung mga maliliit na bata pag sumasakay.
Actually, ang hingi na nga ng tao Sige na, okay na kung kailangan magtaas. Pero yung serbisyo naman, which is very, very important. Babayad ako ng pagkain ko. sana wag naman panis. Binibigyan niyo ako ng panis na serbisyo, nung kinailangan, nang nagreklamo ako, ang ginawa niyo, tinaasan niyo pa. At nung nagreklamo pa kami, hindi nyo man lang maipagtanggol yung pagtataas kung bakit. Ganito to, napakahirap nito para sa mananakay. Isang kwento ko, kaya ako nagagalit, dahil sabi nila hindi daw dapat ako nagsasalta, being a former administrator. Pero ang sinasabi ko naman, I'm a former administrator and I know these things. But more than that, sumasakay po ako. At nakikita ko, ang hirap ng mga tao, kaya nga po wala tayong stored value. Kasi ang tao sa Pilipinas, sapat-sapat lang yung pamasahe ko bukas, uutangin ko pa. At hindi nararamdaman to ng pamunuan natin ng pamahalaan to.
Well,
Mula taas
I
hanggang
have to
baba.
tell you, Mel, that even dito sa ating opisina dito, sa GNN, may lumalapit sa atin ng mga ano natin dito, PA and so on, na, sir, yung inyong issue talagang ano pala, ang tindi ng tama. And you were telling me before we started the show, yung mga lumalapit sa iyo, ng mga vendors and so on, anong nangyayari sa kanila?
Ito ang very clear proof na sa pagtataas ng pasahe, ang tinamaan dito, ang sikmura ng tao. Dahil sa desisyon na hindi nila ma-justify, ang kailangan mag-suffer directly yung sikmura ng tao. May mga nagtitinda sa LRTA na kung nakausap, na nagsasabi na, ang tumal ngayon. Ang mga tao hindi na bumibili ng pagkain dahil sa pag-increase, no? Minsan daw, kinakalug-kalug na lang yung barya, bibilangan din, ay, hindi na kasya. Ito, hindi ko alam kung ano, ang sinasabi natin dapat, poverty alleviation. Kung sino-sinong tinuturo natin pabigat. Pero ito, direktang pabigat ito.
Okay.
No?
Mel, si Ben Critz ng Manila Times, columnist, sabi doon sa hearing na humarap si Abaya, he was really let down kasi nung tinanong yung concession agreement sa kanya, sabi niya, ay naiwan ko, hindi ko nadala. At kanyang binatikos din yung na nagmamagaling na hindi diniin na bakit hindi ka na nagdala ng concession agreement. Mukhang lang ito, moro-moro, na kunwari may investigasyon and so on, pero yung concession agreement which you are examining now, please tell us about it.
Well, kami po ay remember there are two concession agreements. One is with the MRT3, no? That's a concession agreement. Itong mabigat. Itong concession agreement, yung PPP, Public-Private Profit. Yung ba yun?
Partnership dapat, pero profit, tama.
Public-Private Profit. Ngayon, we're now in the process of deciphering it. Even me, who has been with the LRTA, is having a hard time. I'm having a hard time kasi tinatago talaga eh. Okay. Sabi nila, walang sovereign guarantee. Fine. But that is only as far as the technical term of sovereign guarantee is concerned. But there is guaranteed profit. Guaranteed profit. And unhampered. Walang limit. Unlike the other utilities, meron. And we're still in that process. And yung scam that you're talking about is probably the increase of the fare. You might be referring to the unnecessary fare increase. Probably you're talking about that.
Even the attempt at hiding all these add-ons,
but it's done.
already
The problem is we're done. Funny thing is, even as we speak, even without the January fare increase, on record, because of that PPP concession agreement of DOTC, there was already an increase in October. But they will not collect that now. It's already booked as an increase. Can you imagine? The concession agreement, iba pa to ha. Ganun ka-hidden yun. O so paano? There's a schedule of increases. So one happened in October when the concession agreement was signed. Meron na nun. So babayaran na natin yun because we did not affect it. Kaya forced to good sila rito kasi sisingin nila naman ng gobyerno. In essence, ganito. You entered into a concession agreement thinking that you would release the subsidy by government to LRTA. Oh no. We had more subsidy now than it was with LRTA, but it went to private. Ganito to, talagang manginginig ang laman mo kasi habang sinasabi nyo na para wala ng subsidy. Anong walang subsidy? Lumaki pa ang subsidiya, pero sa pribado napunta.
So, maging malinaw tayo dyan. Yung bawat pasahero nagbabayad ng sobra sa kanyang sariling operation and maintenance sa pagsakay dyan, no? Yung subsidy na lagi nilang binibintang sa commuter is false. Ang subsidy na pupunta sa mga Sobre Peña, Ayala, Pangilinan, Agustines, and so on.
In the case of MRT, I would think that kasi yung capital expenditures yan which were advanced supposedly by the private. Kasi hindi ko talaga maintindihan why MRT is still with DOTC. Yan ang yung sakit ng DOTC na yan of getting something that is not theirs is prevalent yan eh. Like MRT, kung magka-bidding kung sino mag-ooperate ng MRT, DOTC will not qualify. You know why? You do not even have 1 second of experience operating a rail system. You don't even have the people to run the rail system. And yet, kinuha mo. Why? Yan ang magandang tanong eh. Why? Because probably you signed something and release payment to them. Probably, no?
But when we were discussing the concession agreement, you were talking about the retirement.
The DOTC
package.
Retirement Fund.
No. So, doon ba nakikita mo sa iyong pagsusuri ng concession agreement, yung mga patong-patong doon na nakatagong mga tubo, siyempre may makikinabang dyan, aside from the so-called investor.
Yeah, ito na lang eh. Government will be penalized. Can you imagine? Ang gobyerno ang ipe-penalize ng private proponent. Ha? Nung pumasok kayo dyan, you should know everything. That's part of your due diligence. Ngayon, pag merong hindi na i-deliver ng gobyerno, government will be penalized. Parang ano to eh, parang MILF telling the Philippines eh.
Oo, yung blackmail, no?
Now, here is a private concession saying, oh, penalty ka, ha? I will be penalized. What for? Kayo ang kumuha nitong sistema nito. And you're supposed to ease up the burden here. Now, ang hirap pakinggan na yung gobyerno na used to run this smoothly and efficiently. Now, darating si private.
Yung LRT, because that's where you know really, you know?
Yeah, but
it was being run well.
That's what I'm saying eh. If MRT were put under LRTA,
Gaganda
hindi
yun.
magkakaganyan. 50%, I'm not saying mawawala, but 50% of the problem ay mawawala. You know why? They don't even have people. They don't even have the materials needed.
They don't have the technical people also.
Pag sinabi ng MRTC ganito to, ay oo nga, siguro nga ganyan. Even now, they are consulting LRTA on the speed restrictions.
Yeah.
So, that 50% of the problem, kaya dapat, ang sinasabi ko, ilipat nyo sa LRTN because LRTA has been operating for more than 35 years.
And ibig sabihin yan, ilipat nyo sa mga taong gobyerno sa LRTA na matagal na nandiyan.
Yes, they know.
Government run it better. You run it better under the government and public
well, I cannot say that now because ang definition nila, bakit papasok yung private daw, inefficient daw yung yung government when it's the same with power. Precisely, yeah. Inefficient daw ang gobyerno. Teka muna, I cannot agree with that because, of course, now you run it to the ground. Their spending rate is only 10% of the budget. Isa pa, nanghihingi ng pera, samantalang hindi naman kayang gastusin. No, so all these things are really hindi ko alam, hindi ko na ma-rationalize yun eh. No, sasabihin na hindi maganda ang patakbo. Teka muna, ninyo. No,
that's right.
No, but I can compare all the key results areas. I can compare number of trains available. I can compare number of ridership. I can compare the headway. I can even compare the number of escalators and elevators operating during when it was at its best before you came in. Now, let's compare all those things. Number of trains available, loop time, passengers, income, and convenience. Lahat yan has been there. We tried. There was a bar to be has been set.
Suma total, when LRT being government run has been efficient until they are trying to come in now. Ano?
Then I challenge them, saan kayo kuha ng tao to run that well? Saan? Ilan lang ang kumpanya na marunong magpatakbo ng tren sa Pilipinas? Isa lang.
Now, yung comment mo nga, this is like the MILF threatening government.
Yes.
What is behind the MILF? I've been stressing kanina, it's the US, and ito ring change of paradigm.
This is the Ayala Manny Pangilinan.
Of course, and who is the partner of Pangilinan sa US-Philippine Society? Negro Ponte, former CIA chief. They have this business society na yun ang nasa likod nitong pagbabaluktot ng ating public service law and so on.
Something like that. The project advisor here is people from International Finance Corporation of World Bank.
World Bank.
So, funny.
Sila,
Ito,
sila nagdedesenyo ng lahat
kwentuhan
na to.
na lang kita, bakit dapat tayo maging involved? Papasok sila, ang dala nila, so much money, yung dala ng gobyerno, katapat na pera, and the existing line, from Trinoma all the way to Baclaran. Anong value nito? Ng dala namin? Walang value yan. That's sunk cost. Ha? Saan yung sunk cost? I have to review sunk cost. Sunk cost yung hindi mo na marirecover na pera. That is the reason for that. No? It's a cost na you cannot recover it anymore. They use that term para lahat naman, ay, o nga, sunk cost. But if you look, that's not a sunk cost because it earns. Hindi yan, bayad na yan, sabi nila, wala na yan. So, but that is a wrong application. Even dun, bakit di ka manggigigil? Ginagawa tayo masyadong bobo.
Yes, precisely.
Sobra naman to.
So, gagamit sila ng mga pangalan ng ekonomista, masisindak ang mga tao. Economist yan eh. No, you go back to common sense.
I bring in the whole line. They take over the whole line, they get all the money of LRT, and what have they invested? Wala pang isang poste.
Precisely.
Wala. Ano yung tawag doon? Hindi yan
Scam.
PPP.
Yun ang scam.
GSSM.
Ano yun?
Gisa sa sariling mantika.
Ayun. In English, SCAM, scam. But the whole economy is that way. Ganyan sa kuryente, ganyan sa tubig. Ang tubig natin, tataas na. And sino nag-desisyon? International Chamber of Commerce Arbitration Committee. Wala na tayong control sa sariling tama o mali dito sa bayan na to. Mga dayuhan na hindi man lang titikim ng tubig dito, yung mga yan eh. Sila ang nagdidesisyon eh.
Pero nakakalimutan natin dito na nagbabayad tayo ng buwis.
Precisely.
At ang buwis na yan ay gagamitin mo sa serbisyo. Kaya ako, ang paniniwala ko, we should subsidize, not privatize. Because if tayo rin lang pala ang gagastos, wala nang bayaran ng buwis, kanya-kanya na lang. Kung kailangan ng pulis, hire ako ng bodyguard, hire ako ng security agency. Kung kailangan ko ng mass transport system, bilhin lang ako ng kotse ko. Kanya-kanya na tayong buhay.
I will try to put an improvement on that. Presently, we are subsidizing the super rich and penalizing the people. Yun ang nangyayari. Tapos, tinitinggalaan pa itong mga oligarchs. No, these are the worst of people.
Especially if you go into yung tinatawag na regulatory capture na tinatawag Katulad niyan, lahat na lang telecoms. But we have the worst telecoms in service. Right, Yung Wi-Fi natin, they're talking about 10 gigabytes. Pero second, sa atin, KBPS pa. Ano pala? MBPS pa.
Hindi bale kung aabot pa doon. Yung actual.
Hindi, and yet, wala namang standard na sinusunod, no? Yung tubig natin, water. Wala naman tayong sewerage system, but we're paying for it,
That's
no?
right, yeah.
And ito na lang, ang pinaka-directly, sabi ko nga para kay Ginoong Aquino, ito na yung pagkakataon mong patunayang hindi ka presidente ng mga hasindero. This is the only chance because this is the only service na talagang nararamdaman niya, ay, may gobyerno pala. Ito nakikinabang ako sa buwis ko. When it becomes fast, safe, economical, affordable. Yun ang basehan ng pagkakagawa ng LRT. Hindi sinabing profitable. It was never mentioned that it should be profitable.
Right.
It was given na subsidized because this is for the people. The economic benefits is a lot more than what you see. Sabi ko, yung sinasabi na rin iba, nakakita ka na ba ng mall na may bayad ng escalator at elevator? If you look at it that way, then this is an integral part of development of moving people efficiently, making them more productive, removing traffic, di ba?
Well, we've run out of time, but I think this time we completed the discussion last time. And we will discuss again in the future to keep the issue alive and burning in the soul and in the minds of our people. Maraming salamat po, Kamel, for visiting us again. And I hope you benefited from these two discussions we've had today. Mabuhay and have a good weekend.